is Cindy here from Sunnyside Studios. Welcome back to the channel, and today this video is highly requested by you guys, and I will be revealing everything I use to set up my artist booth, everything from my Amazon finds, my handmade signage, and how I managed to keep everything travel friendly that it fits in one large suitcase. So whether you're prepping for your first ever artist alley or you're just thinking about upgrading your current booth, in this video I'll break down my entire setup, everything from my table decor to my gallery style backdrop, as well as some little hacks I use to give my booth that extra little space in markets without breaking rules. So yeah, let's get into it. So first, I'll be talking about my table setup. That means everything that goes on my 6 feet market table. And my first step would definitely be talking about my tablecloth. So I use a bright yellow tablecloth that matches my brand colors, orange and yellow, and it honestly attracts so many people just because how vibrant the color is and how different it is from other vendors. And on top of the tablecloth, I definitely have to put my branded banner over here, which has my signage, my brand, my logo, and a little cat that's laying on top. And all of that fits in this little bag over here, so they're very compact. I can find them very easily. So on top of that, I have my print stands, one for my postcards and the other one for my small prints. So for the postcard one, as you can see over here, this is how it looks packaged and deconstructed. Honestly, it is really compact, reconstructable, so it only takes me 5 to 10 minutes to put these together at a market. And I think the natural wood color really complements the warm color scheme of my booth. Instead of using acrylic racks, I chose wood just because it is more on brand. So I do have a little note if you're thinking of using wood print stands, is that they do break. Wood planks, they're a bit fragile. So as you can see this piece over here, so the right side is like this. It has a little dent where you slot in to secure the print stand. However, the left side broke off because it got stuck when I was trying to take it apart. So that is something to keep in mind because wood does break and there's nothing you can do about it. So how exactly did I decide to choose this dimension for my postcard and this dimension for my small print stand? So for my small prints, I chose the largest print stand possible because I wanted my prints to be at eye level and there's enough gaps so each print is not covered by the one before it. And for my postcards, I chose one that perfectly fits 3 of my postcards on each row so I could have all of my postcards perfectly positioned on this rack. So for me, it's looking at the dimensions of my product and also compare it proportionally to the print stand. So next, I want to talk about the keychain holders that I place on my booth. So this is a new product line I added to my market since last month. I ordered these keychains off of Vogue Grace, and they're really good quality. And I'm really happy that they're a new addition to my booth. A lot of people like them, and they're selling out really fast. Oh, hi Luna! Luna came to join me again. So for my keychains, I chose a very simple design that uses a jewelry or necklace end to hang my keychains because I didn't want to block the middle section of my booth because that is where I'll be sitting, and I wanted to create like a visual composition where the 2 sides are higher and it narrows down towards the middle. So there's a focal point created towards me, the artist. However, I do have the package one so people can self-serve and pick their own keychains from these pastel crates over here that I got from Amazon. I think they're super cute. This is how they come packaged. As you can see, it's super light and thin. When you take them out, it's very compact, and all you do is you just open it up and it just folds into a little box like this. And I think the design is so smart and compact, and I see a lot of other artists use the same display. So I definitely recommend these boxes if you have keychains, sticker packs, anything that's small and fits. This is a postcard size box. So moving on, the next item I want to talk about on my table is definitely the business card stand I have here this whole time. It is this little sassy diva of a kitty right here. She's doing like this pose, which is like, I think is so funny. And I think I found this guy on Temu, which I'll link it on the screen right here. Thought it really matches my branding, like humorous and cat themed. So yeah, a lot of people really love this, and I think she actually is my best salesman because she attracted so many customers who came here just to take a photo of her. So I definitely have to thank her for bringing me more crowd, and this is such a cute addition to my table, I think. If you see anything on brand for your booth, definitely just grab it. Like on Amazon, Temu, or like thrift stores, I think it really adds like a personal touch to your table. So the last thing I want to talk about on my table setup is definitely this Gumball machine right here. There are a lot of people's favorites. As I've talked about in my previous Renegade Craft videos, this thing has attracted me so many crowds and so many customers because everyone loves a good lucky draw or a gambling opportunity. And depending on the color of the balls that you come out when you spin, it matches to a different prize. And I have this little like board over here that people can refer to. So for example, for yellow or pink, they get a random sticker. For orange, they get a sticker of their choice, and you can get anything up to a small print, which a lot of people are really excited for. So this has really been a big game changer for my booth. See, even Luna is interested. And to make this thing stand on my booth, I do have this little like picture holder over here that my boyfriend Jackie helped me 3D print. But if you don't have a 3D printer, you can definitely just buy like a picture holder on Amazon and it will like stand your little sign perfectly. And for this board, I just printed out a piece of paper, laminated it, and put it on a piece of like foam board that I cut out. So it's super lightweight and gives it a bit of like hardness as well, so people don't like bend it all the time. And to make this lucky draw experience even more on brand, I do have this cat blind box as well that holds all of my stickers that people can pick from randomly if they do roll the yellow or pink option for my lucky draw. So I think this box is super cute. I got it from Japan. It used to hold like cat-shaped chocolate or biscuits. I kept the box and I just think it's like super cute addition to my booth. So yeah, that is everything I put on my table, and now we'll be moving on to talking about my gallery style backdrop. So next, I want to talk about how I set up my backdrop to look like this clean and gallery looking backdrop you see here. So before I started designing my booth, I did a lot of research on other artists' booths and artist alleys and how they display their prints. And one thing I noted is that a lot of people like to have all of their prints displayed like right here, so that their backdrop is super packed and every print is right next to the other without any breathing room. So as much as I understand the need to have all of your prints on display, and perhaps they work really well for the artists who are doing it, for me I just can't stand the fact that there's no negative space around my artworks. So I am someone who loves going to art museums, loves going to galleries to appreciate art, and one thing I noticed is that there is always a lot of negative space around each artwork, so it allows the artwork itself to shine and speak for itself. Also, if the art are up for auction or purchase, it allows the customer to imagine it on their home wall if there's negative space around it. So that's what gave me the inspiration to use a white backdrop for my prints, like the ones right here. So I am using a white foam board that I got from Staples, and I'll put the link on the screen right here. So basically, it is super lightweight, this is very low cost, as well as very portable, very easy to hold with just one hand. And even if it breaks during transport, it is easily replaceable because they come in like packs of 5. So I have my small prints mounted over here. So to secure my prints on the foam boards, I like to use these photo corners, as you can see over here. They're honestly barely visible to the human eye, even from a close distance, because they're super clear and see-through. And this allows me to switch out the prints without having to like unglue them or having to use a new board. As you can see, I can just take out the print like this, and I can put in another print in the same place. So I think this is a very smart way so that I can update my catalog whenever I want to. So I have 4 of these foam boards if it's an 8-feet booth, and 3 if it's a 6-feet booth, to display my big poster prints and to display my most popular small prints. And they're super easy to put up because they are light and made of foam and super interchangeable as well. So another thing I wanted to mention about how I decided on my backdrop is that I always have these 2 really big poster prints in the center of my backdrop, so it is like a conversation starter, or it can grab attention of my customers. I think a lot of artists who sell prints, they're really small and they're only visible from a shorter distance. But with these 2 posters, I can catch people's attention from really far away, even though like they're not my best sellers, of course. And if you watch my Renegade craft video, you already know that I love adding lights to my booth. I think light is something that catches people's attention immediately from afar. So at most markets that I tend to, you don't really know where you're going to be placed in the venue. And a lot of venues, they don't have equal spotlights on all the locations, so you never know if you're going to be placed in a dark corner. So it's always good to come prepared and bring your own lights, whether it's spotlights or fairy lights. These ones over here, if the venue doesn't allow electricity, I always like to bring some kind of light to light up my table in case the venue gets really dark. And another tip I love to share with you guys are these little Velcro mechanics on the back of my board. Because I do have 4 foam boards that I'm trying to fit into one piece that makes up my backdrop, they had to fit seamlessly without any gap. And so I bought these cable managers for like computers and cut the Velcro strips so that they tape perfectly into each other so that there's no gap between the foam boards. If there's any wind, it won't blow the foam boards apart. And if you're wondering what I use to hold up my foam boards, it is in this box right here. So I do use like a metal modular backdrop, and as you can see over here, it has different dimensions that I can custom to different booth length, anything from like 6 feet to 8 feet, and you can also customize the height as well. I got this on Amazon, and although it is a bit heavy because all the parts are metal, it is super useful. I can break it down and put it in my luggage very easily. And to attach the foam boards to my backdrop, I have these golden hoops that I found on Amazon as well. I thought the color was the exact same match to my backdrop, so I got these and they just clip onto the foam board perfectly. So moving on to the third part of the video, I'll be talking about how I display my stickers uniquely, and I'm super excited to share with you my sticker vending machine over here. So as you guys have probably seen from my other videos, this is how I display my stickers on, you guessed it, a foam board as well. So this is something I handmade. I basically glued together 2 pieces of foam board, and I colored the first layer to be red because I wanted to match my brand colors as well, super welcoming and warm. And I added just some more paper cutouts of my art, so everything is in theme. There's a little sunny cat laying at the top as well. So I think I'm super proud of this one, and I think it adds such a personalized touch to my booth. To hold the stickers, I have 3 brackets on each row. They're acrylic pieces for holding business cards, I think. I just ordered them off of Amazon. The link is over here. And basically, if you want to design something like this, make sure to get the ones without any backing, so the back is flat, so you can just hot glue it onto the board. And yeah, this is super portable. I can easily lift it with one hand. And here is where a little hack comes in. Because this vending machine is a standalone and it technically doesn't go on my table, although I'm given like a 6-foot space, I can put this vending machine next to my booth because they do have gaps between tables, and that kind of expands my booth into like an 8-feet booth without breaking any market rules. So this is a little gray area that I realize most markets are okay with, and they have no problem of me just like setting up a little foam board next to my booth. That has been a little hack for my markets to get a little extra space for my booth. And if you've vended at any market before, you already know each inch of your booth is very valuable. So gaining that extra little area next to your booth without breaking any market rules is definitely a plus of this vending machine feature. And to secure this foam board onto the tripod easel that I have, before I would just stand it on the tripod like how it's intended to be. One thing I realized with any busy market is like sometimes there's kids running around, sometimes it gets really crowded, and people tend to like kick the legs of my easel, and the foam board will like tilt over entirely and all the stickers will fall out. So a hack I use to prevent these things from happening at all is to use these clear price tag clips to clip onto the top and bottom of the foam board, which is my sticker vending machine. And the foam board is just securely attached to the tripod. And I also add a bit of tape on the back as well to make sure there's no chance of it flipping over ever again. And of course, these clear price tags are honestly so useful and handy for every situation, not just for price tags. So to stand up my sign on the backboard, all I have to do is clip 2 of these clear clips at the bottom, clip the other end to my backdrop, and it will stand securely in the center of my booth with no problem. And of course, I would suggest cutting out any cute signage of your art. Just get it printed at the local printer. I use ATC Images if you're based in New York. They're super fast and cheap, and they're run by a really kind Chinese grandpa. So yeah, check them out if you're thinking about printing any signage for your booth in New York. All I have to do is secure these designs on the back of the foam board that I have left over, and they make perfectly lightweight and portable signage for your booth. So another plus to these signage is that since they're printed on matte photo paper, it is completely waterproof. So even for outdoor markets, if it's raining, it won't get damaged. And that is definitely a plus for me. So yeah, that is everything I use to build my artist booth. I hope this video gave you some inspiration or helpful tips if you're building your own setup for the first time or improving your existing setup. If you found this video helpful, I would really appreciate if you give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel for more behind the scenes content and how I build my small business if you'd like to follow along for the journey. Again, thank you so much for watching and I will see you in the next video.